Hello, my friends. Ivan Oberon here, your favorite non-contingent real estate lender with Prosperity Home Mortgage, coming to you to talk about a little topic and to spend a few minutes to get you caught up on what's going on in the market. I've been hearing ever since the beginning of the end of last year about my realtors and clients saying, you know what, we have clients that are saying they want to wait, or I have clients that are telling me, hey, you know what, we're going to wait. The market's crazy, prices are out of control, and there's just so much competition. So there's a lot of different reasons why people have chosen to wait. And now, as we're going into already more than halfway through 2022, I keep hearing these conversations since the beginning of the year for different reasons, right? The interest rates started to change and things started moving around and people expecting these crashes and all these different things. And I'm not going to spend too much time here giving you my perspective as to what I believe as far as is there going to be a crash or not? And I don't think so. And there's the different reasons we can go into because of that. But I'm going to share with you kind of like where we were then, right? Kind of towards the end of the year, where we are now, and kind of the beginning of the year, and what's it cost you? What have been the benefits or the negative impact of waiting, and maybe not realizing certain expectations that people had when they chose to wait. So let me go ahead and share this with you so that we have a little bit of perspective and something to look at. All right. You guys should be able to see my screen now. And so, what's it been costing you? If you were considering a home, and there's been several people that even were approved, full loan commitments, everything else, like, you know what, we're gonna stop. And that's probably one of the worst times to stop, right? Because you have a super strong full loan commitment, no loan contingencies, a close on time guarantee that we pay $10,000 to the sellers if we don't close on time. So a lot of different ways that we are winning offers. And so that's the last thing we want to do is wait. So where were we at in the first quarter of exiting 2021? We were exiting basically historically low interest rate levels, right? Had started between 2.5% to 2.75%. At the end of the year, we'd reached up to 3.5% to 4%. So there was already a cost of inaction that took place there because there's still some people waiting in those times. And so it cost them a little bit of something to do that also. Now we're still in a strong, as we're finishing the year, we're in a strong, steadily appreciating market. And that led into 2022 where values, maybe they're not super appreciating anymore, but values are still holding. Right? A lot of people thought that they were going to be crashing here pretty soon. Well, they didn't crash, although we are seeing a little bit of a slowdown, right? We're seeing some slowdown. We're seeing properties take a little bit longer to sell in some cases. I'm still seeing prices over asking, but I'm also seeing some price reductions starting to occur as I'm talking to all my agents. And so the available inventory is still on the light side, right? There's still not a lot of inventory, even though we are seeing some pockets increase in inventory, which is good. So that was the beginning, the end of last year, beginning of this year. So where are we at now? Rates are still historically low. And some of you have seen me send my historic rate sheets out where I'm telling people, look, it's still on a historical scale. We're still super low. We're still lower than when I bought my last house in 2007. So historically, we're still really low. People were buying houses when we were in the teens, and people are going to continue to buy houses. But average conforming loan now is hovering closer to 5.5%. And some of our jumbo products are closer to maybe the high fours to low fives as well. So that's kind of the range that you're in right now, which is definitely different than it used to be. Now, appreciation has slowed down. In some areas it has stopped, like I already said, but we're still at historically high prices on real estate. And the available inventory is still not great, although we are seeing a little bit of an uptick in that inventory. Some places and some properties are taking a little bit longer to sell. And that's nothing to be super concerned about, right? We've been in this Goldilocks kind of market. Now we're back to how it always used to be. Kind of 30 to 60 days was an average days on market back in the day before we started seeing all these things happening. So has the marketplace remained competitive? Yes, it has. Now, not quite as competitive. So that's good news for you buyers who are still in the game or wanting to get into the game. So now the conversation is shifting a little bit with some of my agents, and as I'm reaching out to other buyers or potential buyers or people that already have pre-approved, guess what? Take some heart and courage. It's not quite as competitive as it was, is what I'm seeing. A few less people playing. So now's the time to kind of get back in. So now let's do a little bit of comparison. What would have happened if you had taken action rather than sideline yourself versus, okay, where are we at now? Now, I keep telling people all along for the last year, right now is the best time to buy. Right now is the best time to buy. Right now is the best time to buy. Well, why am I saying that? Because I believe that interest rates are going to continue to rise slowly. And for the most part, they're going to continue to outpace the difference in if real estate prices start to come down a little bit, the buying power is still going to be diminished in proportion to the interest rates rising at a little bit faster pace. So let's just take a basic $850,000 property with 20% down. Obviously, this is still a quote unquote conforming loan size, so you could do a lower down payment if you wanted to, but let's just use 20% just to keep the numbers clean. $680,000 loan amount. If the rate had been 3.5%, it was closer to the beginning of the year, then you would have a payment of $3,400 roughly. Now the same property at 20% down, now let's call it 5% interest, that same loan is now going to cost you $4,074 a month. So it's a $670 a month difference. What does that do to your buying power? Well, it decreases your buying power by $100,000. And of course, that can make a difference, especially in percentage wise. It's a pretty big decrease in buying power for having waited. Can we still make it work? Of course we can, but I want you to see the difference so that we don't get stuck in this waiting game as interest rates continue to go on a steady increase. Now, let's talk about buying. We saw buying power. Now let's use the exact same scenario from a different perspective and talk about income, right? Because one of the things that we're always looking at is income for qualifying, debt to income, and what does that do? Okay, how much income do we have versus our liabilities? And if we take the exact same scenario with a different interest rate versus what it was then to what it is now, that $600 a month or $670 a month difference makes a difference in $1,300 of qualifying income. Now, if you were making your qualifying income was $10,000 per month, now you would have to be making $11,300 per month to qualify for the same loan. So it's not that easy, especially if your numbers are tight. It's not that easy to just all of a sudden generate an extra $1,300 a month in income, right? So that's if your numbers are tight, it can make a huge difference between qualifying and not qualifying, which is one reason that some people have kind of exited the market. They drop below qualifying and prices haven't dropped to a point where they can find a suitable home for that $150,000 less for the same quality that they were looking for previously. So I hope that adds some perspective, and I'm happy to have a conversation, work some numbers. We have a lot of great and creative programs now too that are coming back. We're seeing longer amortization periods. We're seeing some great use of ARM products again, interest only, and all these different tools that we have to help get you qualified, including non-conforming and non-qualified mortgage stuff like bank statement programs and asset qualification, DSCR loans, you name it. If it can be done, more than likely we can get it done for you. I look forward to connecting with you and sharing some ideas and thoughts. Until next time, I'll talk to you soon.